and get into the game. Guys, spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner as the blue ZvZ player representing Invictus Gaming with a 43-minute win in game number 3 against Squirtle just now. He has to jump straight back into another game. Can he do it? Can he advance further? It is XiGua.
All right, guys, and spawning up here in the top left-hand corner from Team MJ Team is BBoong. Gotta love that red ZvZ player up here. And, you know, both of these players, I love watching them play so far. I've seen BBoong twice now and commentated one of his games. And XiGua, I was watching him before as well. And just both of these players are going to come out and they're going to go guns blazing because this is a loser's bracket. And whoever loses here is completely out of IPL 5.
That's right. It really is a win big or go home moment here. Very, very difficult. These guys have been through so many players to get here. I mean, okay, XiGua, lucky that he got seeded. Well, not lucky, but he's played fewer games is what I'm trying to say because he got seeded directly into winners round 4.
Right.
But imagine coming to a tournament and then going, hey guys, how's it going? You're up against Lenok. And then, oh wait, you lost to Lenok? Don't worry, have a Squirtle instead. Wait, hang on a second. That's a ridiculous path to take.
I mean, and the fact that he got a win out of either of them, you know, coming in, and I don't think I've ever seen him in too many professional tournaments from before. You know, definitely none of the MLGs or anything like that. You know, coming in and at least taking a game off of Squirtle, even if he loses here, I would go home happy.
I would, but at the same time, you travel all this way. You want to play as many best of 3s as possible.
That's quite true. That's quite true.
He is now in the lower bracket, round 6 though, so it is a very, very long way to go if you just take a look at the brackets of this tournament. Because I was saying actually to Jay Morrow earlier, you could take all of the players that lost in lower bracket 1 through 3 and have a world-class tournament out of that.
Exactly. And I mean, that's exactly what's so awesome about IPL 5 is even if you go to the losers bracket, it's not like you're going to have an easy time no matter where you are. So this is going to be a pretty cool game. Apparently, BBoong playing under I Like Pizza. I don't know about you, but I like pizza as well.
Pizza's not bad, man.
That's why I live in New York City, man. Best pizza in the world. And
I've been to Italy.
It's pretty much no joke. No, it's not Italy. It's New York City.
I've been to Italy, man. Italy's pretty good.
I don't know. I haven't been to Italy, but I'm just assuming.
XiGua playing under Thunder Toss.
Yeah, under Thunder Toss is his name, so that's pretty interesting. Metabolic Boost started up for both of these players. There's nothing too crazy coming out from either of them. One for a pool first, another one for a hatch first.
That's right, but they're both like 2 routes, kind of to the same goal here.
Exactly. You know, and given that they both went for different openings, both of them have Metabolic Boost at the same time. A little bit earlier Baneling Nest coming out here from XiGua.
Yep, so let's see if XiGua decides to do a little bit of knife fight style ZvZ here with some Zerglings and Banelings. Now, of course, before, like, you know, we're talking like a fair number of months ago, ZvZ meta game was along the lines of, okay, everyone goes Zergling, Baneling, we go crazy, crazy, lots of explosions, West Side Story, and one person goes home happy and one person goes home unhappy. But now we see those Zerglings and Banelings being used more and more sort of as a tool just to keep yourself a little bit defensive going into the mid to late game. So we're seeing a lot of really cool macro ZvZs come out, and I'm loving the way the metagame is switching up. People are starting to figure out more and more what they can get away with, what they can't get away with, and we're seeing a lot longer technical games.
And you know, that all really started to erupt from the Queen range being adjusted, because now Queens can effectively get Banelings out of their own face very easily.
That's a great point,
and having, you know, all of that, a nice little advantage of the range. Now we have the XiGua here popping out another Baneling, being very defensive. A lot of links coming in here from BBoong. Is he going to be able to do too much damage? Who knows? Now he looks like he's going to get a nice little surround on that Queen. The Queen's still alive, but it is going to go down at the last moment. No! Stay alive.
Oh, there we go.
I was so happy for that Queen to stay alive. The Spine Crawler does finish up here and going straight on into the main mineral line as a lair is halfway done here for XiGua. So playing very, very aggressively with his tech pattern. But this lair was also started here for BBoong.
Yeah, XiGua will just clean this up, guys, because BBoong did drone up quite heavily behind that. So it wasn't all in or anything like that. We weren't about to see a constant stream of lings into XiGua's base or anything of the sort. He just wanted to do a little bit of damage before trying to get up to his own tech and seeing if he can squeeze in just a little bit of drone killage. If we take a quick look at the number of workers killed, it's actually 1-0 at the moment. So even though BBoong is continuing to pile on the pressure, he actually killed too many right now. And the Baneling half a second earlier, Sham2.
So close, so close.
It was indeed. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, if only that Baneling just finished just like a second before, it would have been an amazing connect right there, and I think that would have put a nice little favor there for XiGua. But unfortunately it did not, and as it stands, you know, it's pretty even right now.
I would say so. I mean, I think that BBoong maybe came out of that slightly ahead because XiGua was forced to make a lot of Zerglings to defend against it. But of course, BBoong came out with the aggression first. So both sides, I think, are around 40 drones at the moment, maybe 45. Let's take a quick look.
40 and 45.
Oh, wow. Excellent. So 40 to 48 at the moment. So BBoong a little bit ahead because XiGua was forced to make a lot of those links. And now BBoong coming in with for round number 3. Holy!
The Baneling detonation.
Can I point out,
XiGua.
so many Zerglings, well, that too, but so many Zergs would just hit detonate as soon as those links ran by. XiGua did that with one Baneling. He had 2 there, he did it with 1.
He had a move command on and then waited to detonate it, and that was perfectly played there by XiGua.
Oh my
putting
God.
him in a huge advantage, even though he's actually still behind in the food supply count. Looking at the unit counting station, we have a couple of roaches, but drones are actually pretty even as well, so pretty interesting stuff. Infestation Pit now starting to get the pathogen glands upgrade for both these players, but XiGua just a little bit ahead, so that's where that food difference is going, is the tech.
I think that was possibly the biggest Baneling explosion on Lings I have ever seen.
I would have to say so, too.
Because that was a lot of Lings, man. Yeah, just for a single Baneling.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stuff there. And BBoong is not going to be feeling too happy about that. He, of course, he does have, well, both sides really have a Roach tech now out on the field. So we're going to be stabilizing going into the mid-game now. Pathogen glands coming up from both players, of course. Infestor tech popping up as well. Oh, pardon me, just for BBoong at the moment. Has XiGua taken his infestation
XiGua has
tech?
already grabbed his pathogen.
Oh, he already has. Okay, cool. So it wasn't my imagination when you switched to the unit tech. Great.
Sir, no, sir.
Okay, good stuff.
So now with the range upgrade just finishing for both these players, we're going to be going on to that Roach Infestor type play, and that's when it's going to get really interesting. Seeing who can get the better concave, the better positioning, because that's really what matters here. You can have the better amount of roaches, but if you don't have that nice concave, your Roach Infestor army is going to go pretty much down the toilet. Now, looking at...
And even without a mothership in the game.
Well, exactly. That's what I was going to go for, the Archon toilet reference, but...
exactly.
Now, here comes a whole bunch of roaches, putting a little bit of pressure now onto XiGua's third base, but it looks like he is going to be chased away as the Infestor is out. Nice fungal growth going down here, and an engagement is going pretty well for XiGua. Now he's taken a very confident lead in the food supply count, 122 to 91 for BBoong.
And wow, that's actually looking pretty healthy there for XiGua, taking that lead. Like you mentioned, he's actually just going to be producing a decent number of drones behind this, it has to be said. He's not going all out roaches, he's not trying to go for a kill move, and yeah, great burrow micro there.
And here comes another engagement, but it looks like there are 3 infestors, so XiGua pulling back just for a moment right now, throws down the burrow to recover his hurt roaches, and that's going to be great for him. The infestor over here just waiting for any type of engagement. He does have a fungal growth ready. Looking at the unit counting station, it's 2 to 4 in infestors, so BBoong has a little bit of an advantage in that regard. But he also has a third base up here for XiGua, so XiGua taking a very nice economic advantage.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job at the moment. 64 to 55 workers as it currently stands. Both sides have started +2 now. BBoong does have the faster +2 here, but it's so difficult to be in a situation where you can recognize it. Now, he does have, I think he still has an Overlord by XiGua's half of the map, sort of round about this area. There we go. So that Overseer there. So maybe when his +2 finishes, he can immediately click on a roach and go, oh, hang on a second, he's still on +1, and he might attempt to go for some sort of timing, but fungal in these situations can make such a big difference. I wonder if he'd go for something like that.
And that would be in the middle of an engagement that upgrade would come through. So that would be a little bit of a gamble, but quite true. You know, those timing windows are incredibly effective in these types of battles when it's incredibly mirrored. And oh, a very nice fungal growth does go down here on XiGua's forces, and now BBoong is in a little bit of an advantage here. A couple more fungal growths do go down. Grab those infestors. The infestors do get away with just a little bit of health, and XiGua's going to have to retreat for now. But 163 to 148, and this is the timing we were talking about. +2 has finished up here on BBoong, but XiGua has only +1.
XiGua is dicing with death there, Sham2. I mean, he actually moved back with the roaches to try and get a little bit of dessert on BBoong's army, and that one last fungal actually did so much damage. So BBoong now actually ahead of supply, 160 to 140.
Oh man, and that is not looking too good there. But unfortunately for BBoong, he's not able to really make too much happen with this. He does have a little bit of a food supply advantage right now. Still has that Overseer there, as you were mentioning before, so that's very nice. And XiGua is regenerating his forces by putting down the burrowing them. And oh, nice, a couple of changelings hanging out there. And then they're just going to go back home. That's an interesting choice.
So XiGua's going to be the first person to grab his 4th base. He's also got his Hydraless Den about to complete as well, so he will be mixing in Hydras into this unit composition. Now, for those of you who maybe aren't so used to seeing different unit compositions in a ZvZ, Hydras add a lot of DPS, okay? They're fantastic units to have, but they're very squishy. They have so few hit points compared to Roaches, so if you get Hydras fungled, that's horrible. If you keep them in the back and the Roaches can shield them from damage and they do a lot, that's great. But now we have an attack going in at the 3rd from BBoong.
And this is going to be really bad for XiGua because he's incredibly out of position. He's stuck up in the 4th base position, and now he can't go down, otherwise he'll risk getting fungled there.
And there are more units there as well.
There are more units, a couple of Roaches that have burrowed over there. And look at this, yet another concave coming out here from XiGua, but is it enough to really turn the tides of this battle? He's already lost his 3rd base, and BBoong now has to fight his way out of here, but is it going to be possible? Hydra's now starting to spawn, and that's going to be that DPS added that it looks like XiGua's going to need to finish up this force. But look at the forces, it's 166 to 128.
Yeah, and that burrow has just been so useful this game. We saw BBoong try and harass the 4th base, pulling XiGua's army out of position, and then basically blocking it at that choke point between the 4th and the 3rd. If we take a quick look at where the destructible rocks are right here, we basically had infestors ready to fungal Roaches coming down that ramp, so it was almost impossible for XiGua to come down and defend, and as a result he lost his 3rd base. Great play there from BBoong.
Yeah, BBoong definitely taking a huge advantage in this game. I mean, just look at the food supply count. But once again, swinging way back into BBoong's favor. Even though the XiGua does have those Hydras, I don't think it's just going to be enough to really swing this all just way back in, into his game.
You need enough Roaches, really, to tank the damage from your opponent's Roaches, just enough for the Hydras to do the DPS, and right now, BBoong has about 1 trillion times more Roaches, so that means the Hydras are going to get that much more squishy, that much faster, and a great fungal to start off the engagement here, though, actually. We don't have the infestors readily available from BBoong right now, but look at this, the Roaches are slowly falling in the front lines, and as a result, this leaves the Hydras very exposed. Here comes one infestor with a good fungal for these Hydras. XiGua will be able to clean this up thanks to his earlier infestor usage in this battle, but BBoong didn't do too badly there. Yes, he lost more, but a decent number of those Hydras went down as well.
Yeah, that's quite true, and those Hydras, incredibly costly units. You don't want to lose them. But not only that, but XiGua's still not having that 3rd base, and that's really going to allow BBoong to resupply so much easier, so much faster. He's even got his own Hydra Den on the way. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's finished already. So once he gets those Hydras out, he's got the buffer force of all those Roaches. This game is pretty much going to be way in his advantage. And let's look at this engagement now. All these infestors are spending a lot of energy, but it's chasing away XiGua's forces, and you know, actually, the food supply count has actually evened out pretty well.
Yeah, BBoong there, he didn't engage in a position where his infestors were very close to the army, so he just chucked some infested Terrans there from far away. He wasn't looking to come in and do fungals and stuff like that. It almost felt like it was just the slightest bit rushed. On the other hand, though, we saw that when XiGua just had to move back there, the number of Roaches he had were dwindling, and that was a really nice example of when, oh, hang on a second, there aren't that many Roaches left with the army. I only have Hydras and infestors left. Oh dear, I need to get back. And that's your reaction, because the Roaches are what keep your opponent's army from getting to you. So really interesting stuff there.
Now there's a couple of infestors trying to take out these Roaches, but the Roaches do get on into the main base, now taking out one of the Queens. No, actually the Queen does burrow, so very nice reaction there by XiGua, if a little bit delayed, but the Queen does survive. Now going straight for, it looks like the base, random things going on in the main base here, as more and more Roaches start to rally down here.
BBoong's multitasking has been great. Actually, while we were talking there was a small force in the 4th base that did get cleaned up by XiGua, so he's fine there, but the natural expansion in the main base are constantly under pressure here, and BBoong, as a result, has gone up to about a 30 supply advantage. There are still a decent number of Roaches from BBoong inside the main base, and now has a decent concave at the top of the ramp as well. More units at the bottom, and XiGua is looking in a very difficult position as this Roaches just head straight on back up into the main base to try and take out some tech.
And they are just being so good at harassing, as well as letting BBoong just build up a huge force again, coming down here, going to take out that 4th base, and that's exactly what BBoong needs to do to secure this victory.
Yeah, this 4th base is looking like its days are numbered. XiGua does have some forces popping back in, but BBoong has got the infested support this time, throwing up a couple of infested Terrans and a fungal growth, and yeah, he is going to be able to march straight through this. The 4th hatch does go down without any sort of it. XiGua trying to go for a flank, though, behind here. He has the army up at the top, and that's a much less narrow ramp for him to come up, so will he be able to trap a lot of these infestors? three of them going down straight away, so that's a really nice snipe there. But BBoong still 25 supply ahead.
And not only that, but also an entire base ahead as well. Now it looks like XiGua's going to try and take out.
Hold on, the
base.
Infestor's getting caught there, SC2. Are they going to? Yes, they all actually get.
Wow.
That's a big victory for XiGua.
No, they're still moving around here, but it looks like there's
an overseer coming. Yeah.
And it looks like not only that, but XiGua's a little forced. I was trying to take out that fourth base. BBoong got taken out.
Did the Overseer not see that they went that way? Because XiGua had an Overseer with that army.
Oh, but it looks like another Overseer is going to allow for at least one more Infestor to be taken out. But more and more forces coming in here from BBoong trying to take out the rest of the force, pushing right on into the main natural base here. And now it's going to be a really interesting force as XiGua is getting concaved upon.
Yeah, the problem for XiGua at the moment is that BBoong is just everywhere. XiGua cleans something up. He has about 3.5 seconds to relax SC2, and then boom, BBoong is somewhere else once again. And he has just enough roaches there to tank for the Hydras. GG cannot hold, and BBoong takes game number 1.
Finally, BBoong did secure that victory, but a very well played game there by XiGua. The multitasking was so good on his